Hello, friends. Nice having you all here today, my old subscribers. Thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or you've been viewing but you've not subscribed, please take this time to hit on the subscribe button, also the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, I want to say thank you. Friends, there are more updates regarding the female Corp member, that's Stephanie, who was killed in Abuja. And this is an update regarding the information I had posted few days ago. And as we know that a young beautiful female was also involved amongst those that participated in taking the life of this beautiful young female copper. And just to refresh our memories, especially for those that may be hearing this for the first time, but please, if you've not followed up with the whole stories, you will please go back to my previous videos I had posted regarding this very terrible and horrible death. To make a continuation, today the Commissioner of Police, that's FCT Command, in the person of CP Sunday Babaji, he has revealed that the beautiful young lady you're seeing there, who is Jennifer, that she conspired, that she made arrangements with the other suspects, those guys, and that it was a deliberate attempt. It's not like a mistake or anything. All she wanted was for them to kill Stephanie so that Stephanie can be separated from her own husband. And guess what, guys? Because a lot of people were confused, especially people that know Jennifer. As of a few days ago, when they saw Jennifer paraded around, a lot of people were asking, what's this beautiful lady doing here? How come she's part of this particular killing? People from her school, she was attending Benue State University, and guys who knew her made different comments about her. Some people say all she does is to go after people's boyfriends, fiancés, and husbands. And people were making their speculations when they saw her. And all those speculations, guys, it wasn't a lie. It turned out to be true. Stephanie was killed because this beautiful lady you're seeing there, Jennifer, wanted Stephanie to stay away from her relationship with Stephanie's husband. Can you imagine how someone can be so selfish and wicked? Her husband, who is called Edward Achadu, is the same guy who Jennifer wanted to keep to herself. What is wrong with some ladies? When there are a lot of young guys out there who wouldn't see Jennifer, a beautiful girl, and would not want to have a relationship with her. When she can have many guys that are as young and single like her, that will be willing to have a relationship with her. But she decided that it's someone else's husband that you would have to yourself. However, Mr. Babaji said that the Metama division had on April 15th received the information that about the late Stephanie's body lying on the road because they just left her there. He said that the crime scene investigators were asked to quickly rush down to the scene to go and know who that person is because she was wearing her copper uniform. And that was another thing that attracted a lot of people. And so when people were making calls, and that was when the CP now had to send the investigators to now go there, and they found her. Although as of the time they found Stephanie lying on the road, she was still breathing, but her face was badly damaged. They mutilated her body. It's not like they just maybe stabbed her with a knife and left her. No, it was a very horrible scene with her own body. They took her to the hospital, but unfortunately, the doctor now said this lady couldn't make it, that she has given up her ghost. He said that the initial effort to facially prove the victim proved very difficult due to the fact that her face was deformed. It was looking like her face had undergone explosion, like maybe when you pour someone kerosene or fuel and then you light the person, or the person is involved in where there is a bomb or something like that. That was the way they described her, because it was very difficult to even identify her just looking at her face. That's to tell you how deformed and destroyed her face was. Can a human being be this wicked to your fellow human being, all because of a man? The worst part is another person's husband, and you decided to treat this lady like she was some sort of an ant or something that didn't deserve to live. So it was when they kept on trying to figure out whom she was, because from her face no one could identify her. They had to keep on searching to find out if there was any missing copper around. That was when they eventually found out that a core member was missing. They trailed it down and realized that that body they found on the street with the mutilated body and deformed face was the missing young beautiful Stephanie, a 26 years old core member, and she resides in the city homes estate Lokogoma with Mr. Edward, who was her husband. And guys, do you know why this thing is another painful thing? That you say some ladies are so wicked, selfish, and inhuman. This beautiful Stephanie that was killed had a 1-year-old and 5-month-old son. And do you know what happened? When she left her home and she never returned, that was on April 14th precisely. She left with her 1-year-old and her 5-month-old son. It was a day later, a son was recovered in Holy Trinity Catholic Church when a call was made like there's a child in the church and they didn't know who left this child there. And when they now called regarding the child, it was after this whole investigation. Later, the next day, when they now found Stephanie's body and they realized it was Stephanie and did all they could do, now found out that that little child that was found in the church belonged to Stephanie. How wicked can people be? At least, thank God they even left the little child. Now, the child is left without his mother. However, this female girl, this Jennifer lady, said that Stephanie came to her house to collect phone the day she was found dead, and that she didn't have any hand in Stephanie's death. She said that the other guys were the ones that told her that they wanted to kidnap Stephanie to demand for ransom. So you can see how the lady is still lying. The fact that they've caught you red-handed, she is still lying and trying to twist the whole story. Meanwhile, another suspect, who is among them there, said that he was a colleague of Jennifer. Said that Jennifer invited him to help her scare Stephanie away from her man. Guys, are we understanding what is happening? This same Jennifer, beautiful lady you were seeing there, is now denying the whole thing and saying those guys called her so that they can kidnap Stephanie for ransom. Meanwhile, one of the men, they're saying, no, that's not true. That was Jennifer who called them and said she wanted them to keep Stephanie away from her man. This is someone else's husband you're referring to as your man. Are some people okay? You can imagine how desperate some ladies can be, to the extent of you taking someone else's life for your own selfish interest. The guy said that the only role he played was to open the gate for Stephanie when she came to Jennifer's house, because they knew each other. It's not like Jennifer was a strange person to her. That is why people are so angry and mad at Jennifer. This is someone you knew. You were having an affair secretly with her own husband. The guy said when Stephanie came to the house of Jennifer, that was where he met 2 other men who now tied Stephanie before he departed and left them there. He added that he later heard of the mother of Stephanie, that he wasn't part of the killing. Meanwhile, the other second guy said that he was contracted by Jennifer. You see, all of them are still trying to ensure that the public know Jennifer was fully involved in this killing. The other guy is still saying the same thing, that Jennifer called them and contracted him to help her scare Stephanie alongside his friend. Another guy is still at large. They're still looking for him. So this second suspect, the second guy that you can see there, is saying that this beautiful Jennifer contracted him and his own friend. The young man is still saying that he did not kill Jennifer, saying that he held and tied her as Jennifer gave them the instruction. What him and his friend did was that they left the house. Then later that same day in the night, that Jennifer now called him to tell him that he should come to the house. And that when he now came to Jennifer's house in the night, that's when he now met Stephanie in a very bad condition, that her face was battled with acid. You can see that this lady Jennifer is a very, very wicked person. When the guy who tied her said he got to Jennifer's house and he saw Stephanie in that horrible condition, that he was shocked to see her in that state. And Jennifer started crying and saying that she didn't know why she even killed Stephanie in the first place. So when he got to the house, Jennifer started begging him that please he should help her so that they can dispose Stephanie's body and let no one find out that it was her. That was when they took Stephanie's body and dumped it on the road around 3 a.m. and Jennifer paid him 100,000 naira. Look at, you can see that this lady is just a very wicked person. It's so sad. And it wasn't just that, because from the first picture of her body that was revealed when they found her body on the road, her whole body was mutilated. And you know when somebody's body mutilated, her parts of the body, it's that they will cut it or chop it or something. In fact, it was just a very horrible sight. How did this Jennifer take her time and do this to a fellow human being? All for what? A man. Isn't this very horrible? How wicked can somebody be like this? Why would you take your whole time to sit down and arrange how you will kill a lady like you, all because you want her husband to yourself? People are really, really wicked. So guys, this is an update just to give you a breakdown of how this whole horrible incident happened. This Jennifer lady is indeed a snatcher, not just boyfriend or husband snatcher, but at the same time a murderer. Someone who would think of killing a fellow human being to have a man to herself is a very, very wicked person. Is Mr. Edward the only person on the surface of the earth? That is another question they're asking this Jennifer. There are so many young single men out there that would want you to be their girlfriend. Why did you choose someone else's husband? And this is a mother. Look at the little child. She didn't even think of the little child. At least, thank God that they were even thoughtful enough to go and keep the child in the church where the child can be found. Because if the child was also killed, who knows where they would have even dumped the child. Alright, look at, she didn't even think of this innocent child living without his mother. That is to say that Stephanie went through pains. You know those kind of death pain you go through before you finally take your last breath? That was exactly what Stephanie went through. Would you treat a human being like this all because of a man? It's just even difficult for you to sit down and imagine how a human being would be so hardened like this. People are very wicked. You can never trust anyone. Look at this lady knew Jennifer. Jennifer and Stephanie were like friends. And in the end, this same person was the one who killed her. It's just so sad. Once again, may the soul of Stephanie rest in peace. We pray that God will console her little child whom she left behind, her entire family members, friends, well-wishers, everyone that knew Stephanie. May God console them all. The joy a lot of people are having now is that they've been arrested. Although one of them is still at large, definitely he will be arrested. So you can see she single-handedly killed this lady. But these men, why would you get involved in something like this? It's too bad. You see, some people just live on being called to commit crime, being called to do harm to a fellow human being. That is all they survive on. They don't want to go and work. If these men had said no, definitely they wouldn't be arrested, but you're involved, you're part of it, because for you to tie her up, you are also part of the murder. There's no how they can't arrest all of them together. It's sad. Friends, please, if you have anything to say, you could put that down at the comment section. In fact, I think females should be very careful with the kind of people they keep as friends, especially when you're married or you're engaged or you're dating someone. Some people out there may just be eager to take away the person you are dating and not being friends with you. Once they are able to have their way, they'll be done with you. So please, people out there should be very, very careful and observant. It's really sad. Nice having you all here today. Please, before you leave, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, also the notification bell, so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you. God bless you all.